PACT, and I think overall Fnatic should be able to take them as it is for 2-0, 2-1. I mean, I have to give PACT the benefit of the doubt, maybe hand them one map win, like a 2-1.
All right. Throwing something their way. I respect that. I
would give them a close game. I think it'll be 2-0, but I think one of the games will go, maybe 28, 29 rounds.
Okay,
yeah. I think Inferno, for me, is probably more likely to be closer, but I suppose we are about to find out because Fnatic and PACT are about to kick off their first map of this series against one another, and on train we'll see Fnatic starting off on the T side, which should be a lot of fun. I'm just looking forward to seeing the Flush Air MP9 highlights once again, although Mac 10 is all he'll have available on the T side, and you see that for the Betway stats there, Fnatic very favored, as it should be. And they'll make their way forwards here, just going for that A attack, and it's looking pretty good so far. Very smooth entry, and they have not even dropped a single player just yet. It's just 2 remaining for PACT. Lunatic and Sobel left, and I don't know, it's going to take a miracle now.
Yeah, it's just Lunatic and quick to fall. Crims takes him out. 1 casualty on the side of Fnatic, but pretty fast A play overall, and PACT just didn't feel like they were ready just yet.
One thing to note, to say, I don't know if it's if I got my games mixed up, but yesterday Fnatic almost had the same pistol, but the smoke was on the right side of the bomb train yesterday, and today it was on the left side. So little micro changing in their pistol.
A memory.
So if they watch, say if PACT watched the replay from yesterday, they probably had a little different setup, maybe based on yesterday's pistol. So good job in Fnatic of changing up just a little bit, Not too much, but just a little bit to throw you off.
Like the little observer, little graphic coming in there. Shout out to Sapphire.
Yeah.
Great job.
Hitting the buttons, showing us the counter strikes.
Paint us the story.
And once again, and you can see this is really interesting actually, because Fnatic are just so far. Obviously, it's an eco, but it feels like they are. They're not. It's not that they're disrespecting their opponents,
confident
or anything. Yeah, I think they just appear very confident, kind of carefree.
Yeah.
Right now,
there's light utility to make things just easier on themselves. Yeah, I like that too. That point that they aren't. They're not just running out or anything ridiculous. They actually took a little bit of time in that one to set it up. They had a couple players in T-Con just waiting for 15 seconds or so, 20 seconds.
Yeah. They're keeping it simple, and it's working out really nicely so far.
Yeah.
And I do wonder. With Fnatic, they give me that old VP feeling. We mentioned it yesterday, where you know that how much they're capable of, and it's just a question of which version of the team is going to show up to this match in particular. And it's interesting as well because I remember the old days. I mean, I keep doing this with Fnatic. It's hard not to because they have such a history, and especially we have the core of play. The 3-man core that still exists. And when they first were going into their dominant era, they had like a streak of online match wins. I think I remember seeing before a big event at the beginning of that dominance where they won like 26 maps in a row or something online.
Sorry, the ADR is just when it gets to certain
nice.
the decimals
nice.
are just ridiculous. But
I appreciate the precision. I don't want any of that rounding.
Yeah, I want to know exactly how much DAR he's getting.
The rounding's not accurate. Yeah. Oh, look at this little stack.
Yeah, this is. I haven't really seen this before.
That's awesome.
Okay.
You gotta learn something new here.
It's good for 1 kill, and it's not a very common spot to be Molotov too, so it's nice. I think more people opt for the old bomb, the front of old bomb train.
But it's used. It's been done too much.
The mouse sports one.
Yeah. I really like it though. I like those kind of just 2x2 setups, or even kind of a 2x3 setup as it is. But actually, this is a surprising amount of damage in this round for PACT. They get 3 kills with what I think was 5 USPs, maybe 1 upgraded pistol, but.
What was weird is that they saw 4 people in that spot, and they still made kills after that.
Yeah, so maybe Fnatic taking things just perhaps a little too casually could have secured a couple more of their lives, but at the same time, good for PACT.
I love setups where a team is just thinking, we are going to create a setup that's just guaranteed to get a kill. Like, it's not supposed to do anything necessarily more than that. Oftentimes, of course, it can be more than that, but I like the thinking there because a lot of teams don't really necessarily put thought into objectives in that sense, And so, they'll probably just like spread out and people will just like play maybe together but a bit more restricted. But it's good to see that there's like a specific setup here just to try to get one kill at the very least with a full USP save. And you can see the falling round here is going to be very quick out of the gate here for Golden, just tapping away at those heads, makes his way forwards. And looks like I think the program's...
There we go.
Yeah, I was getting confused there.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, Fnatic just walked out once again. That's what you guys missed. And basically, much like I think the second round, the anti-eco, where we were like, oh, they're just keeping things simple and just walking out. They kind of did that the same.
Yeah, it was mostly the Golden show there. He got a double entry with, I think, a sandwich smoke supporting him and maybe an E-box smoke on top of that. And yeah, that's just a very simple approach to taking outside. And usually if teams do that, they'll send a little bit more cavalry with him, but Golden just kind of handles it by himself. And what might have been an info play ended up working probably better than Fnatic expected. So
yeah, and I know we talked about this yesterday about Golden, but as an IGL, his aim is really superb. Like, he has some good flicks. He knows have some also pretty good crosshair placement, and he hits a lot of impressive shots. Considering that IGLs usually have to put more mind power into calling strats, maneuvering your teammates, and making sure you have the right play for that round.
Yeah, I like Golden's hands-on approach to calling. A lot of times, since Fnatic defaults a lot, what the difference is in some of their strategies is simply, it's as great as just Golden goes to a different part of the map to try to support it. And I'm not always sure about all the little micro things he does to support those plays. I mean, it's a case-by-case basis, but he isn't afraid to get his hands dirty, that's for sure.
He likes to do the work to make sure his team wins, even though it could sacrifice his KDA or stats or whatnot. And, you need that player on your team, especially at this level, to win. You have to have that sacrifice in the players, for the win, Dan. For the win.
Yeah, he's always... ever since I first saw him on the scene, I always respected his individual capacity. He is definitely very good. And they're going to make a slight difference here in the anti-eco. This time just everyone walking in towards the B bomb site. They've left one towards T main, but otherwise they will get a plant, and there's not really too much that you can do. Once that bomb goes down in a situation like this, you're kind of screwed as a team that's just ecoing with pistols. And you see Golden sort of just lurking around team main, making sure they can catch people as they rotate to their main threats. Although it may actually work out that the CTs of PACT steal an AK here. You can see that Darko will pick that one up, which is a small win. And so far, we've not seen resistance on the side of PACT. I feel like we haven't seen a single scenario where it's like, oh, PACT did something.
Right.
So far. So it is Train, but...
Yeah. Train is one of those maps that's kind of deceivingly hard on the CT side for newer teams to it.
I agree, 100%.
Yeah, I'm not sure what PAC's history is on it, to be fair, but yeah, it's just it's one of the most CT-sided maps at high-level pro scene, but at lower tiers, your comms and procedures and protocols have to be really on point. And that's something that usually takes a while to develop. It's almost like a T-side where you really need to fight for map control early on, whether it's T-Con, Pop Dog, or IV, or maybe even Boxhall. If you don't get one of those spaces, it can be very difficult. And I feel like Fnatic is just abusing the fact that they have all of the space. And PACT right now, you can kind of see on their radar that they just feel really comfortable playing on the sites itself, as opposed to getting any space across the map. And it's coming back to bite them, is these splits from Fnatic are just way too clean and easy.
One thing that I like about this as well as from Fnatic is that as we see them just barreling into the A site, what they're doing is that they're just trying the simple stuff again. Can't really emphasize it enough, and just seeing if it works. And they're having good success with it, so you don't need to make anything more complicated unless we're going to see some bigger plays from PACT. And to make those bigger plays, they're going to have better CT setups. They're going to have to have better use of their utility, and they're going to have to take perhaps more initiative in certain scenarios. But so far on the reception of Fnatic, when Fnatic come in with all these nades, they're just effectively allowing themselves to be in that disadvantage without having the counter plays or utility to try to even up the playing field.
PACT to me is just, they're not taking anything away from Fnatic. Usually you would send a player into ladder immediately, or even try to fight into T-Con. Fnatic has just been doing simple ladder T-Con splits for a lot of these rounds at this point, and PACT has showed no resistance. I think they want to use their counter utility on the bomb site to try to slow Fnatic down, but a more pragmatic approach probably for them in this case would just be run into ladder. Just make sure that when they're trying to jump down that you're there to shoot them.
What's kind of scary for me, or at least for PACT from that last round, they had a 2-op setup.
Yeah.
And Fnatic just kind of just wide swung outside, kind of minimal utility, and they still just smashed PACT. Like, no, there's no op kills. I don't think there's even an op shot. I didn't even hear an op shot after they got the kills. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, this great smoke placement, and you see that smoke from T-spawn a lot where it goes behind outside, I guess the one train outside by Hell. You know,
Back
by
green.
Hell. Yeah.
Green.
They toss that smoke all the time now, and I think that really stops these Ivy oppers that, you know, sometimes like pick Ivy and middle. So it really just takes away that, and it forces the opper to push up, like on top of Hell or in Hell or whatnot, or for all the way back where you're just more focused on the Ivy.
I remember doing a Skybox video where I was just looking at an opening from Astralis on the CT side of this map, whereby they're able to they're basically able to take close control of T main like an Olafmeister and E-Box and ladder. And they're able to do so with a few grenades and all the players make their way across to those positions. And the way that they had the timings and their nades set up is that every single Astralis player that's making those forward plays is completely covered and there's 0 points at which they're actually in any risk. They're never crossing an angle that can possibly be held because they're the way that they move and the way that they throw the nades. So it is absolutely possible to have such clinical execution behind your utility to take these positions, and that data is out there. Like, again, this is what I was saying earlier. Sometimes it really blows my mind that you have a team that will have, like, coaching staff and all the rest of it, and they don't. And there's some things that you can straight up copy, because sometimes it's like, oh, well, you can't copy how Astralis plays the game. It's like, well, to a certain extent, yeah, it's just as much as you can't copy the way that Fnatic makes mid-round decisions. But something that's very set in place, you can absolutely copy that. It's just the way that diverges afterwards is more up to you, but the opening you can sure as hell copy that.
Yeah, you just have to drill it out, dry run it.
Yeah,
just in practice. Just do your research too, though.
Yeah. It's surprising how little teams do that kind of work, but it's that's great. That's great news for the teams that do the work, because it separates you pretty quickly. But PACT certainly needs something different. They're struggling to get kills as well.
Yeah, I want them to just get into the faces of Fnatic.
Flush has not died, actually.
That's that's actually insane. Yeah. I really need them to try to take some control, PACT that is. And it doesn't look like they're too interested in this round either. Golden's already all the way out at E-Box in the first 10 seconds of the round.
Possible every round.
Good flashes for one, but oh, nice spray. All right, they're able to take him down. That's definitely what they needed. But looks like Fnatic changed it up a little bit with a heavy Ivy approach here. Minus is able to get another 3v5 situation. PACT really need to convert this one. And Minus looking for more, cannot find the shot through the smoke. But now Fnatic are allowed this back green space, and PACT will have to hold them off. Player is spotted on the bomb train. Crims is able to take him out. A 4v3 situation now. Goofy's position, though, is very strong, especially for an A1S, but that's a beautiful flash to get him off the angle. Now they're aware of his position, and Crims will force the bomb plant, but his teammates are dying around him. It's just Flusha and Crims now in a 2v3 situation. This is a must-win for PACT, but Flusha is popping off right now, getting every kill. And Crims, he tries to chime in himself, but PACT are able to find the final two, and that's their first round on the board.
What's the thing that's interesting there as well is that PACT's response to losing control of T-Con and Evox and PopDog and so on was actually to play more passive, which is actually the opposite response as to what you want to stop those things. Because if you let Fnatic split from T-Main and PopDog, you'll actually lose every one of those rounds.
Yeah.
So
I feel like that was just a little lucky from PACT. The way they killed Golden was through a smoke while blind, and if he's allowed that space or he just stays alive a lot longer, he creates so much more pressure for the Ivy players, and they wouldn't have found that opening pick on Brolin as well. They wouldn't have been able to just pivot over so easily.
Yeah, I completely agree. And, well, I mean, we have a slightly more forward presence here, so that's good. That's definitely very good.
Yes.
We need to see PACT being able to challenge these choke points. The idea is that you don't want to allow the enemies to actually coordinate a timing where both choke points, you know, they get to attack at once.
Right.
You want to split that timing up, split the attack. And they're managing to hold on, so that's really good. Fnatic finally being, you know, punished for actually just, you know, taking those positions and just trying to haphazardly split. And so now they'll go for a very fast rotation back to B. I love this, that Fnatic are just running it. We'll see if they can make the kills happen. That's a good entry there onto Lunatic, who was holding on to the AWP there. Now Sable's walking up the sidewalk very quickly at a timing that they don't expect. Very well played. He can't deny the bomb from going down, it seems, as it is being planted in the smoke, but he'll do everything else. Golden in a 1 versus 3 with the AWP. The flick will whiff. That's very unfortunate for Golden. Maybe he would have had a chance otherwise, but now he's going to get taken down by the M4. So good attempt at a recovery from Fnatic, but this is a good adjustment. This to me is like, oh, you know, that last round that PACT won, I was like, you know, I agreed with you completely, Maui. I was like, I'm not sure, you know, I feel like they got a bit lucky there. This is like, this looked like an adjustment, and now Fnatic have to change stuff up.
Yeah, they actually denied some space in this round. They had a player that jumped into Pop Dog immediately. They were spraying into T-Con and they threw a flurry of nades at it as well to just stop that early aggression from Fnatic. This was definitely a better look for their second round win for PACT.
Nice little adjustment, and now Fnatic brings out the AWP. JW last round, I believe, in an AK. See if JW will get a pick here. If Fnatic can keep going this fast kind of setups, looks like they are going to be trying to get outside, as Brawlin does get to the E-box, and he's take out Goofy while being taken out himself. And now here it comes.
Oof. That's unfortunate for JW there. That was a good attempt. But even still, just like they managed to get that one kill. A 3v4 is still like a very workable position, especially if you can make sure the CT's on in any, you know, very forward spots like, let's say, T main or ladder room. And currently, you know, PACT don't have any forward positions, so they don't have any information really as to what Fnatic are doing. They actually now just are peeking deep on Ivy, so they'll have that information, but that's still not conclusive, given that there's only 3 Ts left. And here they go, moving into the B bomb site, and that B bomb site's been given up completely. And this may be an opportunity now.
Yeah, Sobel here at Heaven are looking for something. But the positions for Fnatic are very defensive right now. Good nade onto Golden, though. That'll really soften him up. A second, actually, in fact. He's down to 32 HP, looking to get something done from this summit position, and it's going to be actually Crims that finds the first kill. Sobel does trade it out, and quick work of the remaining Fnatic players. PACT just take them down one after the other in very quick succession. Just looks like Fnatic peeked out simultaneously.
I felt like I was watching a VP replay right there, because of the person was spotting the lower ramp, and as soon as he saw smoke, he kind of rotated back to the top ramp, like right away, and it just reminded me of Taz, like way back in the day. I do that sometimes inside.
The retake style?
Yeah, kind of like just spot and then just hold off a lane and wait for your rotation of your teammates, because if that person dies right away, the Golden would probably be pushed up even more, and it got a lot more position, it'd be a lot harder to retake. But the inside guy stayed alive, even though they gave up a bomb site. Golden was not able to push.
Right.
That's a pretty... Oh! Oh my god, Sobel gets a double out of it. That actually helps quite a lot, because they lost the AWP for free. It'll be a 2 versus 3 now, speaking of which. And we know that Fnatic does very well in these scenarios, but actually train in these spots, I think, is a particularly difficult map, because you want to have the element of surprise, which means you have to walk around, and there's AWPs out, and there's all these long channels. And so you know, you're in a prime situation to be picked off by an AWPer. And we can see Meniz is actually is proximus to this Ivy push. Let's see if he can do anything about it, though. He's definitely getting a kill here. He has to be getting a kill here. Oh, the timing. Unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Oh, it hurts to watch.
Yeah, you hate to see that. Darko, though, still on the bomb site. Playing around the bomb train, may be able to find a timing. Oh, will he get timing as well? He does, and it's just Goofy left, and Brolin takes him quickly out. It just felt like Fnatic in those last those 2 kills just got the better of them.
So even though we were saying timing, I think is a little bit poor positioning by PACT, because you have to put yourself in spots where you can't get time in those kind of scenarios. You know what I mean? Like have your back against a wall, make sure you only peek in one angle where you don't have to swing like a 90. Range, you know?
They could have taken some lower risk approaches in that one, especially the guy on the bomb train. Once he knew that they were coming up Ivy, he was
turning his back to there.
Yeah, he was like, he was taking a couple angles simultaneously, which not advisable in that circumstance. JW,
keep it simple.
Shotgun opping close, but actually Lunatic and Manise are able to get a couple op kills themselves. 3v3 situation as Fnatic continues to scale towards outside right now. Goofy, though, eliminated by Brolin, and it's just up to Sobol. He gets 1 with the FAMAS, now playing around the bomb train. He's making his way through this back smoke, looking for another, but Brolin...
Not even looking at him.
Yeah, just flicks his head right off. Snapped it off.
Well, the keep it simple approach is working out pretty nicely for Fnatic. We're not really seeing anything too crazy. It's just like very basic stuff, and it's working out for them.
Yeah, Fnatic's definitely abusing the fact that PACT is playing defensively outside, like, you know, beyond the bomb train towards Hell and Ivy area, and really to stop kind of Fnatic. What Nordovan has done yesterday was kind of be more aggressive. You know, you got to take ladder room sometimes. You got to maybe play towards Sandwich or push up in T-Con. You have to sometimes take other spots off the map, then playing that simple default.
Yeah, you have to
all round that we've seen so far.
Yeah. You have to challenge and take some space away. Or take a fight on your own terms. If you're letting Fnatic take the fight on their own terms, this is their map pick. This is a map that they've shown a lot of comfort on. It's not going to go your way very consistently. If you just let them split the exact way that they want to.
There we go. Another very straightforward split outside.
Wow.
And that's a wrap.
Yeah,
not really much to say about that one. 10-3.
I'd say Fnatic's been doing pretty good on their game, just isolating that E-box person, you know, because a lot of times you have one person swing from mid all the way to E-box, and some rounds you have someone swing from ladder to E-box, and just again, PACT's not punishing that, and so Fnatic's is running away pretty much every round.
Yeah, it's good. It's good as well when you have a team that understands, like they read the game. They understand, like, you know, stuff that they want to do on their T side, but they also read the game and the map, and they see, okay, this team is not actually putting anyone in spots that would make it difficult for us to go outside more often, and they're not really stopping us from getting T-main and pop dog control pretty consistently, and you know, splitting out from that position is pretty easy. So we're going to take that space. If you're going to give it to us, we're going to take it. And that's kind of what I was saying in the pregame as well. By when you're the better team, significantly better, especially, you want to just play like a kind of a default template of the game and let the other team make the mistake that shows you how to win the game. And if it is the case that team is giving you a lot of space for free, then that's a leak, and you can abuse that. And there it is. That's your passage now to winning the game, shown to you by your opponent, as opposed to you trying to come up with the plan yourself. And if you've got good fundamentals, that stuff's very easy to figure out. And Fnatic will make their way into the B side here. A couple good trades, but they have gained some good ground towards the side itself.
Ooh. It's a nice flash to get Goofy out of lower, but he won't actually find the kill just yet. It's still pushing forward. He's trying to find Flusha, but man, good just decision-making from the Fnatic players. Flusha he knew that player was coming up sidewalk, and he still was able to take the duel towards the Z connector while avoiding that player pushing up. Just very good awareness. You can see why Fnatic do like to pick this map. And PACT, on the other hand, this is yeah, like you said, it doesn't feel like they're just making Fnatic as uncomfortable as they need to be. As they're not playing it necessarily in the most fundamental way that it allows Fnatic to do that. It allows Fnatic to just kind of have a very standard approach round after round.
Yeah, you have to, like, Fnatic wouldn't be able to get away with this.
Oh, they just
that's
know.
Cool.
Flush
Nice.
your nose.
I love that, actually.
Yeah.
It's pretty common to have that inner aggression from the CTs, so that's awesome to see. They called it. They also knew that it was like a force buy round where there's not going to be like proper guns, so
It's very smart.
so
very
it's
smart.
yeah. The likelihood of that connecting is actually kind of high. It feels like
Yeah, people do want to push then.
that's really smart.
Ooh.
So that's right eye versus left eye peak there. So there is a small advantage for Lunatic for sure, especially with the MP9 in that kind of a spot.
Yeah.
Fnatic looking good for the 12-3. Unless Goofy causes some problems here, he will be found out though and dealt with.
Yeah, just Lunatic here, 1v3. They know he got a kill earlier, so they should be aware of his likely routes, and that'll be easy work there for Fnatic in the first half. Quick break before the second commences.
Wow. And we're back.
And we're back.
Dan's back.
We're back. But will PACT be back? Well, they were never here to begin with, so maybe not. We'll see if they can do anything against Fnatic to deny them a fast victory. All starts with the pistol, and initially it's not looking too horrendous. They are a man down, but they do have some control of this bomb site. Getting a plant down will be difficult. Crimson's looking for the moment to push the smoke, and he's found it. And will he find a kill as well? The bomb will be planted, so that's some money in the bag at the very least. But Crimson is now nipping at their heels from the hell position. And
Okay.
that's a wrap. But they got the bomb down, so they're going to have a strong force buy in this next round.
I want to see a PACT player just pop off in this upcoming round. Just send him out with a couple of flashes, a single sandwich smoke that Fnatic was using to set up Brolin and Golden in a lot of the rounds. Just do something similar for a PACT player. Let's see a little bit of their skill, because 16 rounds in, I can't really put my finger on a single player that I would even highlight for the future of this team.
I want to see 2 1-taps. Let's give me 2.
You heard it here. 2 1-taps coming
2.
up.
Let's go. It's up to you, Darko. I pick you.
I go for 5 Galil approach.
No, I'm not going for it.
That's a
Okay, there you go.
all right.
5-tap.
The 5-tap.
He's got the
I
chatterbox.
think it was the 10-tap, actually. He's missing 10 bullets, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Best
Math. You
Galil
don't do
skin.
math in stream. What did I tell you, man?
I'll do it when it's easy like that.
There you go.
Oh, he had
Okay.
got a double there. As a scout, softening them up.
Yeah. Brolin looking to try to capitalize off of it, but as soon as the smokes fade, so will his hopes and dreams.
They're just regrouping now. Look at Fnatic though. They're pushing. They've pushed a lot of positions. that's the kind of stuff that we wanted to see from PACT. So PACT are regrouping, which is really good because they have the 5v3 advantage. But I'm really curious what Fnatic will be able to do with the forward spots that they have right now. It could create some problems. Crims, for example, could absolutely get a few lining up for him if he picks a good timing. Oh, this could be devastating if Crims picks a good timing here. Oh, they are going to line up, but he doesn't find any kills there. But Brolin has the MP9. There we go.
Touch him in the head.
Oh, it's just Golden. He finds one, looking for the second, but he has to reload. Goofy on half HP. Golden using his utility very well to create some space, but he doesn't wait for the smoke, and Goofy is holding it. So PACT, they get their first T round.
Wow, they had a 5v3 there, and they almost lost that one. That was crazy.
If Golden had reloaded earlier, they absolutely would have lost that one. He was on.
He's ready.
Didn't have the bullets.
Okay, well, 13-4. PACT will actually win that force buy round. So that's pretty cool.
Here's another force buy.
Yes.
Fnatic, which is, I mean, it's not too common, but we've seen it here sometimes in CT sides. But you're up 13-4. You feeling the confidence. Why not keep softening up, the opponents?
Yeah. And I believe in Flusha now with every gun in the game. It's easy.
Yeah.
MP9. Give him any cheap automatic gun, and
as long as he has nades and stuff, right? That's
the force is with them.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Yes, it's going to be very tricky, I think. This is such a tricky map to deal with force buys if the team forcing is good. And Golden is going on an investigative mission there. Got the clipboard out, looking to make some notes. And he sent the information back to the headquarters there. Fnatic know that there's a couple players there, which tells them quite a lot. You can see that Brolin does position forward to try to abuse them as they come out, but they are hitting their shots, so that's what you wanted to see. Fnatic won't be able to buy for another couple rounds.
Yeah, this is it's not a scary position to be in if you're Fnatic, but you're starting to give PACT a little bit of confidence, and that can always, if this game just ended 16-3, going into Inferno, it's pretty difficult to think PACT would be able to rally back into the series, but now PACT are getting a little bit warmed up. They're starting to feel themselves just a little bit. You can see the swiftness with which they are finding some of these frags. That on Inferno, that can just bode well for them. They know that Fnatic are mortal now. They've seen gods bleed.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the first gun round from Fnatic, because I think similarly, the principle that you can just play your fundamentals and just punish the mistakes will work also on the CT side for them. So I'm just looking forward to seeing, like, do they think that way, or are they going to play more aggressively? Are they going to try to really take initiative, put the pressure on? Because that also that's also something that can be really crippling to a team that's, let's say they're trying to set up a default, they're trying to set up a set piece. To have the CTs, when you're trying to do that, to have them be aggressive and maybe pick one of you off or kind of throw you out of your plan, that's difficult to recover from for some teams. So we'll see if that works out for Fnatic. But here is the full save. And it's just a mad rush into the A sites, and it's looking pretty good. Flush is always going to get a kill with the seeds there. It's always going to get at least one.
Ooh.
Nice nade. Ooh. There we go. 6 rounds for PACT. But that, is that going to be the final score for them? We'll have to see.
Yeah.
We'll have to see. Fnatic on the first proper buy of, well, I say that, but there's a couple, three
FAMASs already. Yeah.
I guess they spent too much money to have utility and a better rifle.
I'm surprised Flush doesn't go for the MP9. And
yesterday it was all MP9ing and OT, and now he changes his mind. Yeah, today I'm going to FAMAS. I'm going to show that analyst at Summit what's up,
He wants to show the versatility. Again, I already said I can't count him out if he has any automatic gun at this point in the game.
Maybe he'll put it on burst.
Maybe that's don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah.
That'd be so good. No one has a burst FAMAS highlight. Flushy, you could be the one to get a burst FAMAS highlight in this game.
Yeah, it's totally possible. Flusha, though, has to defend. Quick scaling from the PACT side, but he isn't able to find one. But there is a TK actually that comes out, and wow, Golden actually sniping them from a distance with the M4. 4v2 situation now. Soulful, oh, messing up that nade, but Manise is able to pick up a frag despite that. And the plant will come down, and Fnatic will now have to retake. They have some decent utility for this post plant, and that flash won't catch JW off. It'll just be Manise now. He has a Molotov actually, so could throw that onto the bomb. But I think Fnatic may have thrown a smoke in that direction. Regardless, Crims instantly deletes him from the server.
Nice. That was unfortunate for PACT, going for that trusty B play. But Fnatic will close it down and get some upgrades as well. You know, we saw them on the FAMAS and so on. And I do like that they prioritized the utility. They knew that they had to have a certain amount of utility to actually play the CT side out correctly. And this is definitely one of those maps where it does feel very crippling not to have a full nade set. There are some maps where it doesn't feel as bad, but this is one of the maps where it does feel pretty bad if you don't have nades.
Yeah, you gotta have utility on this map. It's just slow down, buy time for rotates, and to flush people out.
Oh, good use of utility right there. Oh, wow.
Golden's feeling it.
He's not making that second peak against like a,
no.
you know, a tier 1 team.
No, he's not.
Alrighty. Fnatic looking really good here. Darko is in a deep position. His position is known though, that's the problem. Sobel stuck in Pop Dog, stuck in a tiny choke point. Last man alive. The prospect's definitely not good.
No. With just 29 HP, doesn't seem like he is long for this world. Will peek out, looking for one, but Fnatic are just too well positioned. They know exactly where he is.
Yeah, Fnatic's looking pretty good on just trading kills. Like, I know they're kind of loose, but it's like a calculated loose where if they're peeking, their teammates are ready to swing or peek from a different angle right away, which was a little bit better than yesterday, in my opinion. And it looked like Fnatic really just trying super hard not to get knocked out of this tournament.
Yeah, they we'll see how they take the second game, it seems. I think that's more so yesterday where they kind of failed to impress, but we'll see what life PACT has still in this map here. Goofy has some very advanced positioning with the MAC-10, but he will be shut down by Crims, and this is it for PACT. Oh, actually, finding a few kills outside. Golden, though, will still hold the line. He's at front bomb train right now, and it looks like PACT know where he is. A very nice spray from Lunatic, and it just leaves Flusha in the 1v3. He's beneath Heaven right now at this A bomb site, and PACT, they've slowed the round down quite a bit now. They are unsure of Flusha's position. They know that he's generally the B player, but he'll still be good for one, surprising him at that spot. And he still has some decent utility to work with as well. The molly comes out, but PACT are able to convert regardless.
Nice. The money is a bit iffy there for Fnatic, is it? No, okay, alright, okay, a couple actually had bought. And I was calculating that wrong. They have enough money, obviously, for the buy. And so it's certainly a long road back, and this round is not going to be an easy one for PACT to deal with. Fnatic, it wouldn't surprise me again if they would, if they decide to go a little bit aggressive somewhere. We saw that Ivy push, you know, in a recent round. But at the same time, we're going to see something just a little bit more defensive from them. Not really trying to do anything too crazy here. Trying to hold this E-box position, just playing around that smoke. Bron's able to pick off one, trying to find the player, dropping down, he will. Excellent defense so far from Fnatic, and they are smashing the attack. The attack has done absolutely no damage. Lunatic, as one of the players hanging back, throwing nades for his teammates, will be taken down, and that's a 16-7 scoreline on the first map. And really, it felt like a no contest, I'm sorry to say.
Yeah, I think PACT was kind of coming into the game a little bit too late towards the end.
Yeah.
Obviously, if they started a little earlier by hitting those shots, maybe get some more rounds, especially on your CT side of on that map, it'd be a lot more helpful. But as we looked at the first half, it's probably more of a game plan mess up because, as we saw, there's no adjustment on their CT side. They kept playing passive and passive and passive, and then Fnatic just kind of abused that fact. They sent a guy down ladder, they sent a guy out mid, pretty much almost uncontested, and they always got the E-box. So I think, PACT showed a little bit of promise, but they just had to adjust a lot earlier in the match than what they did.
Yeah, I agree that it feels like PACT, the only success they really had that looked replicable was when they placed players up closer, when they put that player in Pop Dog to try to contest that ladder position, because Fnatic just weren't really ready for it. And other than that, if you give a team like Fnatic free reign over outside, if you give them T-Con, if you give them ladder, they're just going to tear you apart at that point. That's going to play exactly to their game plan. It's almost like Fnatic wouldn't normally even have to game plan beyond that. If you're giving them those kinds of positions, they know what kind of flashes they're going to throw. They know what kind of smokes they're going to throw. It's going to be easy for them to trade off of that too.
Mm-hmm.
I expect better things on Inferno from them. I think it should be an easier one. Fnatic will also not be as bold, or not have as many options to be as bold, I think. And everybody, again, I would expect at least some basic banana control out from the PACT side.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
And I think we'll be heading to a break now. So stay tuned for Map 2 in this series, and we'll see if PACT can bounce back